Hey, how's it going? My name is Diane and this is How to Train Your Caterpillar, a spiritual life coaching channel, and you're very welcome here. Thank you for checking out the video and the channel. I appreciate it a lot. And if you feel called to like and subscribe for me, I would appreciate that a lot too. So this is a follow-up to two videos I just did about morphic healing. It's about, I finally found the Salamander reference. So it's a little bit about that, just to give you like more information to break through these subconscious blocks in case you're interested. But also, interestingly, I did not find the reference in a Morphic Fields book. I actually found it in a Pranic healing book that I was reading. So that's where I got it from. So presumably that means I'm supposed to tell you about pranic healing as well. So we're going to start with that. So the book that I found this in is called Your Hands Can Heal You, which I don't know if there's a super bad glare on that, but I'll put that's the cover. I'll put the reference in the comments below. It's by a guy called Master Stephen Co. and Eric B. Robbins. I think I got it for about £7 on Amazon. Actually, you know, the first time I heard about pranic healing, so it's spelled Pranic, which, as you can probably work out from the title, is like from the name of it, it's to do with healing the prana in the body, like controlling and healing prana in your own body and other people's if you are certified. It's actually something like I had a client when I was doing personal tarot readings, I think last year, maybe the year before, called T, who told me about it. I'd never heard of it before, and then I found this book and was drawn to the book. By the way, T, if you're watching, I hope you're feeling better now. I hope you're feeling a lot better than you were. So yeah, basically, like pranic healing is to do with the control and regeneration of prana in the body. So prana is like the energy. Prana is the life force. So, you know, we are energy, like our bodies are energy. So illnesses occur when there's like a depletion of energy or there's an energy blockage. So that's what you're able to do with pranic healing. You're able to fix blockages and fix depletions. It's similar to Reiki healing, you know, in terms of it's energy healing, but I actually don't do Reiki myself, but I'm aware that in order to be able to do Reiki, you need to go and get trained for it because it's something to do with symbols, I think, right? Like you have to learn the symbols so you can tap into the energy. That's where pranic healing is different. You can buy this book and you can start doing it at home on yourself and get really good at it. You know, I mean, if you want to do it on someone else, you're going to have to get trained, right? Because you need that certificate that says you're not just a madman running around being like, I can heal people. But you know, I've done this on myself and it's really, it's worked. It does really work. So, you know, if you're feeling drawn to it, I recommend checking out this book. He also has 3 other books that, you know, are like more advanced. This is kind of like the beginner's book. It's still very in depth and it's really, really interesting. So if you're feeling called to it or if you're having health problems, I recommend checking out this book and just seeing if pranic healing is for you. And there's like lots of, what do you call it? Not quotes, reviews by people in the book that have been like, oh my God, like it totally works, you know? And again, you could say that this is, you know, like a placebo effect or whatever, but you know, again, with the placebo effect, really all the placebo effect shows you is that your mind is capable of healing things. So either way, you know, it's a good thing, right? So let me find this reference here. So yes, the salamander thing, like you know, like I said, the reason I wanted to bring this up is because I just feel like, you know, human beings are very self-reflective, of course, and we're able to like question and doubt ourselves. But what that of course means is that we second guess everything, right? Which is why, you know, cats and dogs are able to see things that we're not able to see, right? Because they don't question it. They have their own little third eye. They're able to see, you know, that's why cats and dogs are like occasionally freak out and stare at that thing in the corner of the room that you can't see, right? Because they're seeing something that we can't see. We should be able to see it, but, you know, self-doubt blocks the third eye, so we're not able to see it like they are, right? So it's the same thing with this, you know, healing and regeneration. There's that doubt that always creeps in. So I recommend, if you are having problems, you know, doubting the morphic fields healing, you could also look up like you could look up a morphic field for removing subconscious limits, or removing subconscious blocks, and listen to that prior to listening to the morphic field. Will also be something that helps you. But yeah, the thing I was talking about, like salamanders are able to regrow their own tail or their own arm, their own limb. So really, what's the difference between us and a salamander? Really, the only difference is that, you know, a human being is constantly questioning themselves and doubting themselves and getting in the way. That's really the only difference. So let me see, I made some notes here. Okay. So this is taken from, basically, I'm only going to read you out a little bit. If you want to know more about this, like, check out this book. It's, yeah, page 459 from this book. But it's a guy called Dr. Robert Becker, who is an orthopedic surgeon at New York University. And he references the experiments of an Italian priest who showed that a salamander could regrow a tail or a limb if it was cut off. But let's not think too much about how the priest found that out, right? It's a little dark. But the priest's name is Lazzaro Spallanzani. So the interesting thing, I mean, it's really interesting that a salamander is able to regrow parts of its body, right? Just to take that by itself, that's amazing. And human beings are able to do that too. You know, I mean, I haven't tried to regrow one of my own limbs, but I have, like I said in other videos, I have like regenerated teeth. You know, I've fixed my own kidneys with morphic fields, so human beings can do it too. The really interesting thing that Becker points out, though, is that if the tail and the limbs are removed, or one of the limbs is removed, you can place the tail cells where the limb should be, and a limb will grow, not a tail. Which is really important, because it means there's some kind of consciousness. I mean, not only, like I said, is the salamander able to regrow body parts, but it means that there's some consciousness there, whether it's coming from the salamander or something else. There's some kind of consciousness that knows, even though these are tail cells, we don't grow the tail here. The tail doesn't belong here. This is where a limb is supposed to be. So there's some kind of consciousness there that's able to differentiate what should be going on. Traditional scientific thinking thinks that this should not be possible, like this differentiation. So, hold on a second here. Yeah, according to traditional scientific thinking, this is not supposed to be possible. Becker compares this to a pile of bricks spontaneously rearranging itself into a high-rise building, complete with structural steel, windows and roof. Isn't that cool? And a couple of other examples of regeneration. A newt can regenerate a new eye, including an optic nerve, in about 40 days. Which is pretty awesome. Goldfish and salamanders can regenerate spinal fibers. And an example of the human regenerative capability, the human liver can replace a portion of its mass lost due to injury through what medical science calls compensatory hypertrophy, the ability of cells to increase their rate of division and replace the lost tissue. And damage to or dysfunction of one kidney frequently leads to the enlargement of another. So, I mean, that's just the human body doing things by itself without, you know, anybody trying to like do morphic fields or pranic healing on it or whatever. That's just the human body regenerating itself. So imagine what it can do when it has a bit of help, right? So I'm going to do, the next video I'm going to do is going to be a little bit more in depth on pranic healing. case you're interested in that. But there's nothing that I can tell you that doesn't come from that book. So if you're interested in pranic healing, I highly recommend checking out that book. But I hope you enjoyed this video. Many thanks for watching. Don't forget to like it and subscribe for me if you feel like doing that. I'd appreciate that a lot. And as always, I wish you many blessings, love and light. Take care.